Okay, this is a short tutorial on SketchUp Pro for beginners. All the material that we'll be using today will be on your Moodle page. This is just one example, and this is actually for CTRO 7102, but you may find this exercise used in other modules as well. All the material you will have within a folder like this. This one here is the week 2 SketchUp exercise. All the items that you need are here. There's also the guide notes that I'm working from within this video. The end product of the exercise is you should end up with a model something like this. Just spin you around. In today's demo though, I'll be showing you all the techniques that you need to create this, but perhaps we'll only go as far as something like this within the live demo. What we'll do is, we'll go new from template. If you've never used SketchUp before, I recommend using the templates. We tend to always recommend using the plan view millimeters, and I personally choose the white background, but that's a personal choice. Here we are. So the first thing we're going to do, we need to have some tools. If we right click in anywhere in the tool menu, which should be up here, or perhaps down here as well, just right click and we can add in, I want the large tool set, and I'm also after tags as well. That's all I've got open just now, it's all I really need. I'm also after my default tray. So I'll go to Windows, Default Tray, and we'll have Windows, Show Default Tray. And there's my default tray there. Within my default tray, I have various items that I'll be using. I'll be using Entity Info, I'll be using my materials, and I'll also be using tags. I'll shut the materials down just now. Right, we're going to start with making a brick. So we'll take the pencil tool, and if I just make my toolbars a little bit bigger so it's easier for you to see, we'll use the pencil tool, and we'll click somewhere randomly, and we'll move along. And as we move along, we can see that my line changes color from red to green. That means it's snapped on to an axis, but if it's not snapping on too easy, I can press my right arrow or my left arrow key, and that will force it to be on the red axis or the green axis. Or if I press the up arrow, that will force it to the vertical blue axis. But for just now, I'm going to press the right arrow, which is the red axis. I'm going to come along 215. I'll type it in the keyboard, press enter, and that'll bring it along 215 millimeters. Then I'll press the left arrow, snapping it onto the green axis, and I'll type 103, press enter. And now I'm going to press the rectangle tool. I'll go from diagonal to diagonal. I now have a rectangle shape. I can now use the push and pull tool, which is here. I'll select, hover over the surface area, and you'll see it changing shade. It means I've got it selected. Click and hold down and pull up. And I'm now going to type 65, enter, which means it's pulled it up 65 millimeters. And if I now select all or draw a fence by clicking and holding down the button and draw a fence over that entire brick, then let go, it's selected everything that we've drawn. Go back over and then right click, and we'll go make component. I'll go make component, and I'll give this a name brick. And whilst I'm here, I shall also go to my default tray. I'll go to my tags, and I'll press a new tag, and I'll call it wall underscore brick space cladding, brick cladding. And now I have a brick. If I select the brick by right-clicking on it, left-clicking on the brick, I can then press M for move. If I select on one of the corners, I can see that I move it along on the red axis or the green axis if I select the right or left keys or the vertical key for vertical up and down. If I go back to the right key, the right arrow key, and then now I'm going to press Control, that means I'm going to keep the original component there. If I now type in 225, enter, that moves it along to the right 225 millimeters without pressing anything else. And now I press X, I think it was 10, X10, enter. I now get an array of bricks along here numbering 10. If I select the entirety of them by drawing a fence over the whole lot, and I now press move, select the corner, and I press Control, but this time I go with the up arrow, so I'm forcing it up the way. Now, I want to have a 10mm mortar gap between the two. The height of my brick is 65mm, so I'm going to press 7, 5, enter. I've not deselected anything yet. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select it again with them all selected, or just that top row selected, move along. I'll use the right arrow to lock me on to the red axis, and I'm going to move it along a distance of 107.5, and that moves me along halfway. I'll deselect everything, I'll zoom out, that looks quite nice. I shall grab all of it, so I'm going to draw a fence over the whole thing. I'll press move, select the corner, I'll press the up arrow to force me in the vertical direction, and this time I want to go up to 150, that was a good guess. So 150, I go up vertically, and this time I press X4, and now I want to now delete just that very top row. So select them all individually, or I could select one, hold the function key, and select more, and then press delete. So I've just removed that top row. Excellent. Now, I'm now going to select the entirety of what I've drawn, and I now want to place them all within the tag, or another name for that would be a layer, the tag that we've created, wall brick cladding. So I could go here, but if you don't have that, I'll just undo what I've just done. If you don't have that tool open, I'll show you how to open it again. You right click somewhere in the toolbar and you go tags. I'll do that again. View tags. Or another way to do the exact same thing would be select everything you want. You go to entity info, tags, and you move it to the wall brick cladding layer or tag. We now have it there. Perfect. Now we're wanting to create a block. So we'll go around, we'll move around the screen by holding the little mouse. Just try and change screen just now. On the keyboard, you've got a little mouse here, mouse wheel. We can scroll around the screen by holding on the mouse wheel and just drag. So I'll drag around to the back. Now, let's use the exact same method as we had before and let's draw a block. The block size though will be green, so it will be 140 wide, and on the red axis it will be 440 mil in length. Draw my rectangle. We use the push and pull tool and we bring it up to 1.5, and that's now my block. I'm going to select the entirety of the block and I'm going to make that a component, and I'll call that block. I'm now going to make a new tag and I'll call it wall block work. Wall block work. And this time I want to place my block work 100 mil away from that first brick. So I'll select it on there, move it out 100 mil on the green axis. Now if I select my first block, press move, go to that corner, press Control, press the red arrow key, which is the right arrow key, and move it down 450 mil. That means I get a 10 mil mortar or a 10 mil gap between the two. I'll press Control, and I'll press X7 so we can see X7 there. Press Enter. Okay, I'll do that again. Might have messed that up. Select the block, press Move, press Control, keep the original there, press the right arrow key, 450, Enter, X7, Enter. Okay, it should have been X5. I'll remove the last two that I didn't actually need. And now I shall select the entirety of that bottom row. I will go Move, press Control, keep the original there, press the vertical arrow key, and I'll move it up 225 mil. And I'm now going to move the whole block horizontally. So I'll press Move. I'll lock it on the red axis again, so it's the right arrow key. I'm going to go 225. Right, I'll undo that and I'll move it the other way, 225. A little bit nicer. Now, if I select the entirety of, I'll just do the bottom row this time. I'll move that up. Press Control, keep the original there. Press up and down, or press the up arrow key. And I want to move it up 450 this time. And that gives me the perfect height. So both walls are now at the same height and we've got all our blocks. Now, we could tidy this up. I think we shall tidy this up. This block here, I want to have that as a half size block, and the same with this one. So I'll select that top block that I want to modify. I'll double click, select it, then double click. I'm now in the edit mode for that block. If I select that surface, I use the push and pull tool, and if I were to move that along, we've got a problem here. As I do that, it's not just changing the one that I want to change, it's changing all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and undo that. So I'll come out, I'll press Ctrl Z to undo. I'll select that block one more time, and I'll now go right click and make unique. Now, if I do the same task, it's only going to affect that one block. And now, just to save time, I could just move, I could just move that block that I've just made, or a copy of it, onto the locations where I want it. We'll just do that just now, just to save some time. Excellent. And all of these blocks, are they on the right tag? No, they're not. So let's put all of these on the correct tag. I could maneuver myself in such a way that I could draw a fence over just those. I've managed it there, but if I can't quite do that, another way to do it is to select the tags and look at the brick cladding and hide that and or any other layers that are in the way. So I'll select the entirety of the blockwork wall now, go up to my tags here, and then say to them, please be in this tag or that layer. And now we can see they are indeed all in that layer. Okay, the next task that we want to do is we want to fill in the gaps here with some mortar. We'll draw some mortar. We'll get a pencil tool or the pen tool. We'll draw a line along the red axis and we'll draw it 2 meters 345 mil, and we'll go to the green axis, so I'll press the left arrow key and I'm going to go 103. I'm now going to take the rectangle tool, corner to corner, push and pull, and move it up 10 millimeters. And now I'm going to select the entirety of that. Well, there's a problem there, so let's just hide everything else. Select it all now, nice and easy. Right click, I'll make a group this time. And no, I won't. I'll undo that. I will make it a component. Make component. I will call it mortar. No, I'll call it brick underscore brick mortar. Put all these things back on. I'll put my cladding back on. Select that. And I'll just move it in place. Move it in there. And then whilst I'm here, I'll press Control, move again, and I'll move them. So I've got mortar exactly where I want them. Now there is a faster way of doing this, but this will be fine just now. And what I will want to do is I will want to have all the verticals filled in as well. So I'll grab one of those, move it, press Control to keep the original there, and I'll have it on green. I shall rotate it on the green axis. Press 90, enter. It rotates at 90 degrees in that direction, which is the green axis. Now, again, if I try and edit this now, because it's a dynamic component, it will affect all the others. So I will select it, right click, make unique. Now I can go in there and I can now edit this without damaging the other existing ones. I'll do that for just now. Go in here and I'll just place that in where I want it. I want it in here, and I'll go in and I'll modify it again, the height wise, and I'll just match it up. Perfect. If I now select that, press move, control to keep the original there, and I'll just snap it on to the end, and I'll press X, 10, enter. They should all fill up exactly where I need them. I don't really need that end one. Now, this time, if I just hide my brickwork, I could now easily just grab the ones that I want. So I've grabbed those. I'll press M for move. I'll select the bottom corner and I'll press Control, keep the original there. Now I'll go to this tag layer and I'll turn back on my cladding, and I'll now move it up. And I can just keep doing the same thing. Move, keep move selected, press Control to keep the original there, and I'll just do it manually, but it's far quicker than doing them all individually. I'm just doing one row at a time. Nice and easy and fast. Last one. There we are. Perfect. Now we want to do the exact same thing, but this time we want to do it for the block work. Oh, sorry, before we do that, we want to create a tag for that mortar. So we'll press new tag, we'll go wall underscore brick mortar. Excellent. We'll hide the cladding. We'll now select all of just the mortar, nothing else, and we'll then put it onto that layer tag that we've just created. We'll hide that and we'll bring up the block work now. We'll do the exact same exercise and do this here. I'll pause the video just now. So this is back after pausing the video. I've created all the mortar for the block work and I've put it onto the mortar layer for the block work. And this is what we've got now. Fantastic. The next thing we want to do is to create some other of the wall elements. Perfect. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a cavity closer. It'll be a 20mm deep cavity closer. So I'll just draw a line in this corner on the up arrow, 20mm, enter. And for my sanity, no, it's fine. I'll use the rectangle tool. I'll go diagonal to diagonal. Before I go any further, I'll create a new tag, wall underscore closer, cavity closer. Excellent. And I'll select what we've just drawn and we'll ask it to be wall cavity closer tag. Select it, push and pull. I'll do that again just to make sure we understand what's happened. I select the object and then double click the object. It highlights around the perimeter in blue there. And I can now push and pull that all the way over. I think I'll do it almost all the way, just so we can see what we're doing. And now I want to do a similar thing, but this time I want to do a wall plate. So we'll do a new tag, wall wall plate. We shall draw 100mm by 50mm, 100mm deep, 50mm in height. So 50, enter, and on the green I'll do 100. Press rectangle tool, snap onto the edge, snap to the bottom, push and pull, and we'll go all the way to the end here. Fantastic. Now I want to put all of that onto that tag. It'll be a bit difficult for me now to do it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all of the other tags. So I've only got just that element that I've drawn. Oh, that's not helpful. I'm now going to make it a group. I can't do that because that's not a group. I have made a mess of this. How can I salvage it? So this is actually a good learning curve. I've now made a bit of a mess of this. I'm going to just go Control Z. Come out of that. Control Z. And back to there. I'll pull this along. This is my wall closer. Cavity closer, sorry. Stop it there. At this point, I'm going to turn off everything else. Only just that cavity closer. Select it. I can now make that a group. Just a group. And whilst I'm here, I shall do a new tag. Wall plate. And now I'll draw my wall plate. It was up 50 and along 100. Rectangle tool, corner to corner. Push and pull it all the way. I can now hide my cavity closer. So now I've got only just that wall plate. Select all of that, make that a group, and ask it to be on the wall plate tag, and turn everything else back on. Absolutely perfect. Whilst I'm here, I think what we'll do is we'll put some material colours on things. So I've opened up my materials tag here. Now, what we'll do, I'll make this a little bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. I want to colour, first of all the brick. So I'll turn off everything else. So I've only got the brick visible. Select it all. Let's pick a nice reddish colour of some sort. And then let's go for the mortar. Select all by Control A if I want, or draw a fence. Mortar can be a nice light coloured grey. Whilst I'm there, why not get the mortar for the concrete at the same time? And blockwork can be white. Okay, be a light shade of grey then. And then my wall plate can be a different shade of red. And my timber, no, sorry, my cavity closer, a shade of red. Sorry, my timber, I can do just a timberish colour there. That'll be fine. Excellent. I now need insulation. So I'll do a new tag. I'll go wall. Oh, sorry. There we are. Wall insulation. I'll draw an object that's 100 mil deep. Well, I could just go from corner to corner and then push and pull that all the way to here. Could just do that. Turn off all of the other layers. I'm only left with just the insulation. Select all of it, right click, make group. Let's give it a colour. I quite like for insulation a nice pastel green. There we are. Select it and put it onto insulation layer. Turn it all back on. And we've got our wall starting to really take shape now. Now let's just try and draw a roof truss, or part of a roof truss. We'll do a timber. The timbers can be 47 mil on the red axis. On the vertical axis, they can be, let's have a look, 97 mil. And we'll go corner to corner. And we'll go push and pull. And we'll go 1 meter 400. That'll be fine. And we'll grab the entirety of that. This time I'll just put a fence over it, so I can easily grab just the thing that I want. Right click, we'll make it a group. We'll have 2 of them. So move, or M, and, sorry, start again. We'll have 2 of them, select it, press M, move it along, press Control, and then I keep the original there. I'm going to select one of them, I'm going to press the rotate tool. I'll find a corner. I want to rotate on the red axis. Select the corner there, come along here and rotate up. I'll type 30, enter. That takes it to 30 degrees. I'm going to snap it onto, let's have a think about this, onto the end. I want to select the bottom one. I want to move that back on the green axis, the left arrow key. I want to move it back 400 mil, and then I'll move it up, select it from that bottom corner here, press M, move it up, press up arrow, and I'll snap it there. This time I'm going to select that bottom chord, double click, I'm now in edit mode, I'll press the pencil tool and I'll draw a line from there up to that intersect there. I've got it. And now you can't see it very well, so what I'll do is I'll hide that just now, right click, hide. And now we can see what I'm doing a lot easier. I'll go back into that bottom chord, double click, select that zone there, and I can push that out of the way, and it's now cut that nicely. Now, if I was to undo that, and it's not that the top chord's no longer hidden, if I select my bottom chord, double click, I'm now in the edit for that bottom chord. If I just hover over and then select just once, click once on this area here, even although I can barely see that I've selected it, I actually have. I use the push and pull, and I can indeed push that back and then snap onto that back surface, and it will be gone. Move that out of the way just to prove my point, you see? So it did actually work. That's a little bit more tricky, it takes a bit of practice. We now have the basis of a roof truss. I'm now going to select both members. I'm going to make group. make it into a group. And I'm now going to go new tag, and I'm going to call this roof, ROOF underscore truss, roof truss. Actually, I'll call it roof trusses, SES. Oh, sorry, ROOF. There we are, roof trusses. I'm going to select it. Now let's give it a color as well. Now I'm going to use this water, it's hard to see, but it's a little dropper. I'm going to use that icon here, hover over the timber that I used before, and now it's turned into a paintbrush, or a bucket, sorry. I'm now going to just select my roof trusses, gives it the same color, that's all I'm doing. I'm now going to select that, I'm going to press move. I'm going to just slap that bottom chord on somewhere and connect it onto there. I'm now going to just pull it back on the green axis. And I'll just do it by eye for there just now. That's all we'll need. We need a little bit of a gap, not much. Perfect, that'll do me just now. In fact, I'll move it back in just a little bit. Just about 20 or 30 mil. Sorry, just a little bit, maybe 50 mil will be fine. And now, if I select it again, press M, move it, press Control, keep the original. I'm going to press the right arrow key for the red, and I'm going to move it along 600 mil, so 600, enter, times 3, enter. We've now got 4 trusses along that wall. Absolutely perfect. Just what we want. I think what we'll do there, we'll stop this video where we are just now. But using these techniques that we've got and using the documentation within your Moodle page for your module, which would be SketchUp Guide, you should be able to finish off the model following instructions, and you will get something that resembles this. The instructions also give you the material profiles and the material colors and textures as well. So it's all in there. This is only a quick demo live. Thank you very much.